chefs! Well, it's summer in San Francisco, and if you've ever visited here, you know what that means. It's freezing. The fog rolls in the morning and doesn't leave. You see tourists walking around in shorts and sweaters. And on a chilly summer day such as this, you're gonna need something that's gonna keep you warm. Gonna stick to your ribs. I ended up making this dish for my friends on the 4th of July. And in the 5 years that I have lived here, I have never been here on a 4th where you could actually see fireworks. It's more like diffused bursts of colorful light amongst the night sky, which I also couldn't see. And I knew I needed to come up with something that would keep people warm while we were outside, huddled in our winter coats, mittens on, trying to see an elusive firework. And my friend Eric said that it was flat out the best chili that he ever had. So, little chefs, I feel it was my duty to share this recipe with you guys. So without further ado, I will show you how to make the best chili ever. Not my words, mind you. I will let your taste buds decide.
Probably one of the most important things when it comes to chili, if you're making chili with meat, is the cut of beef that you use. Now, I am cutting up a top sirloin steak. One of the reasons I really like this meat is because it's marbled, so when the meat cooks down, it kind of flakes apart in your mouth. It's really delicious. So to start, we're going to cut this up into bite-sized pieces, and then go ahead and make sure you dry the meat really well between paper towels. This helps the meat to brown. Now, in a very large skillet, go ahead and heat up some oil and then put in your pieces of meat. Make sure it's on the highest setting so it browns really fast. Next up, we will be slicing and dicing one large sweet onion. You know, I love these things. Can't get enough of my caramelized onions. So go ahead, and once the meat is done cooking, you're going to want to put these in that pan that we cooked the meat in and just stir it around. Make sure that you pick up all of that really great bits from the steak, and then dump the onions into a large soup pot with 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter and salt it really well. Now, you guys know this song from here on out. Stir once every 10 minutes for 40 minutes to get those puppies caramelized. Now, while the onions are doing their thing, we are going to take a bunch of peppers. I have got some bell peppers. I also picked out some poblano and some hatch peppers to go in here. And if you want your chili spicy, go ahead and grab a couple of serranos and some jalapenos. If you want it really spicy, throw in a habanero. Now, we are going to cook these in a large skillet on high heat until they start to blister and get really tender. Once they do that, go ahead and chop those up into bite-sized pieces. Next up, get 4 really large cloves of garlic and chop them up really finely. We're going to add those to the soup pot with our onions and stir them around for a few minutes until they start to color. Then go ahead and add in both your peppers as well as your meat. Then just go ahead and stir those to combine. Next up, we're going to add a couple of spices to the mix. We're going to start with a teaspoon worth of cinnamon, a tablespoon worth of cumin seeds, another tablespoon of paprika, and then to finish, we're going to do 2 tablespoons worth of oregano. Now we're going to add in our beans. I'm using kidney beans, but you can use pintos or black beans, that's fine, and then a very large can of stewed diced tomatoes. Now go ahead and mix that on up. Make sure it's incorporated really, really well. And here I add just a little touch of flair, 2 ounces of dark chocolate, and then an entire can of tomato paste. Now we're adding one of my favorites, an entire bottle of beer. I go with the smoother brews. Chimay is a personal favorite. I wouldn't go with an IPA that can make your chili really bitter.
So a quick word on chili powder. Now, if you're feeling adventurous, you can make your own from scratch, but I personally feel we're putting a lot of time into this little adventure, so I just went ahead and bought some chili powder from the store. Cheating's fine, I promise I won't tell anyone. So if you do want to go ahead and make your own chili powder, watch this clip right here. It's from Alton Brown's The Big Chili.
Whichever way you do it is fine. I am adding my chili powder mix that I got from Safeway, and then just give this one last really good stir to incorporate all of the ingredients. Make sure the heat is on medium-low or low and cover for 2 hours.
There you've got it, little chefs. Just a few hours, a little bit of patience, and you too can make a world-famous chili. Now, I would suggest topping this off with a little bit of sour cream, a little bit of cheese, some avocado, cilantro if you're feeling fancy. And I promise you'll be able to feed your friends for weeks, months, maybe. All right, little chefs, that's it for this week. I will see you soon, and until then, take care. So hot they had to call the fire department.